Hey, welcome back to the channel. Do you have a Sega Saturn that has problems with its CD drive, whether it's not reading a disc properly, scratching discs, or just making noise? Well, today we got a Saturn on the bench that was making noise, and we opened it up. It turned out to be a simple fix, but I thought you guys would like to see the inside of a Sega drive since we haven't really worked on a Saturn before on this channel. So, if you stick around, we'll show you how to get it done. All right, on the bench today, we have a Sega Saturn. We don't work on a whole lot of these here just because it was kind of a rare system. Not rare in the fact that nobody saw them, it just wasn't popular and didn't sell well. So, you know, we just don't have a lot of them coming through. And I don't think we've done a video on it. And I do have to apologize, I haven't been getting my videos out just because I've been trying to keep up with work, and sometimes it's hard to turn those cameras on. I'm starting to contemplate just doing straight repair videos opposed to more the how-to repair, but we'll get to that later. So anyway, this one came to us today because the owner said the drive was just making clicking sounds. So I don't have it hooked up to the TV yet, but let's get a little power on this. And everything in the drive is intact, but grab our Saturn test disc. Just one of the few cheap ones out there, just in case the laser bumps it. This one's hockey. I'll just give it a listen. Yes, something is not right. Sound like it was scuffing the disc. All right, so, and it looks like it might be bumping the tray. All right, so let's go ahead and power this down and get the top shell off. Saturns are pretty easy to get into. They do have a battery door, and if it doesn't want to come out because they're tight, it'll fall out on its own. There's only a few screws. Now, I will say this, Saturn shells are extremely fragile. Don't be surprised if you start taking these screws out. Not so much fragile, but they're brittle. So yeah, don't be surprised if you start taking these screws out and you feel a post just twisting inside and the screw not releasing. They just seem to break, you know, if anybody else has been in it and the screws have been over tightened or if it's been mishandled. So more or less, there's no security stickers. You just have a few, we got 5 screws around the perimeter, and yeah, that one didn't want to fall out, and that's about it. And as you can see, the battery door will just fall off from that point. So just hit the eject. I don't see anything touching in here, but it looks like right here the disc is scuffing, and right away I can see that this bit of plastic, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, you can see it's lifted. So this might have been dropped because that just snaps into place. All right, let's you can see, I mean, this shell just comes right up, and we're in here, might as well just kick some of that aside. The rest of that looks okay. This might be a simple one. All right, just to let you know, when you put these back together, you should always have that lid up because the way the door switch works, it's right here, and it actually pushes back. So if you put the lid on with the, or you put the top cover with the lid down, it can actually push down on this assembly and damage it. You know what? I'm going to get a video cable for this one because it's an oddball. It's not our standard Sega cable, and we'll get it hooked to the TV and we'll see if it's reading now. I'll be right back. All right, so I got a cable. We hooked it just the back of our monitor. A little switch box that, it's kind of here into the corner. I keep a standard Sony cable, a standard Nintendo cable, and a standard Sega cable because that covers probably 80% of the stuff that I wind up working on that needs coming to the monitor. Plus, usually on the front, I just have a standard AV. So any of these oddballs, we just got to hook them up. But this one looks like a 32X or a third gen Sega Genesis type connector, but it's actually different. I don't know if it's proprietary or not, but it's the only time I've run into one of these. It's not a standard like 9-pin DIN or 8-pin DIN or anything like that. It's almost like inverted to the standard. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if it was a standard from something else or not. So let's just go ahead and get it plugged in. And of course the flat goes down. There we go. And if you are going to work on one of these with the shell off, it has an exposed power supply. So be very, very, very careful. You have mains coming in right here, and they're exposed. And of course, there's some higher voltages coming through here. Your low voltages coming through these pins. So, all right, so let's get our test CD back. Put it on the spindle. Now it's not touching anything. All right, and we'll switch our input to, let's see, composite. There we go, and we'll turn it on. I guess we should hook up a controller too. All right, what do we got? We'll go for English. Well, we'll just not worry about the clock at the moment. All right, so it's booting. The system works. We'll go ahead and close our lid. Like I said, be very careful. It's got open mains. Start application. It may be easier if we just go ahead and reset it and let it boot, thinking the lid's closed. Make sure this drive's good. I grabbed a whole bag of parts just in case we had a problem, but let's see if it boots into it. And it's going to. There we go. Sega Sports. All right. So this one was pretty simple. We're going to call it right there since it's obviously reading that disc. But since we're here, why don't we go ahead and replace that battery? We're going to unplug it for that. I'm going to unplug the video. And, might actually be a little easier to see with the shell off. Once this door is out of the way, so here's your battery door on the back, you can see the battery. You just push it in and then lift up at an angle and pull it out. And, that's the only real problem with this particular system is this memory battery just does not last very long. And, it's not just a clock, it's the memory battery. So if you've got game saves on this guy at best will last 9 months to a year. If you got a cheap battery, it may not even last that long. But if you decide to own a Saturn, go ahead and get a ROM cart, and then you can save all your backups to a cartridge that, the battery in that lasts 10, 15 years. So, all right, let's go ahead and find a battery. This particular one's a 2032, and I should have them up here. There's some 2032s right there. And when you put it in, same way, it kind of goes in at an angle and it just pushes down in. Pretty much just like that. And there's a reset. Well, some of them have it, some of them don't. You can see right in here, there's a pad for a reset button. This one doesn't have it. So that's about it. It was a simple one. We can put the shell back on real quick and give it one more test. Do it with the lid open. All right. Like I was saying, these shells are a little brittle. So when you're putting those screws in, as soon as they touch, stop twisting. They do not have to be tight at all. And we'll put our disc in, hit our power, make sure it still works, that there was not another issue with the shell. It's running clean and clear. I can hear it. Of course, we'll have to go through our setup again real quick. And with a fresh battery, it should hold all that memory. All right, it's booting up just fine. I appreciate you being here. I know this was a short one today. They're not always this easy. I did not open this to find out what was wrong first. But if you found the video helpful, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. And that's a little loud. But, you know, don't forget to hit the bell notification and hit subscribe for us. And I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks.